So from time to time, we want to wear fragrances that are going to lift our spirits. They're going to put us in a more favorable mindset. These are fantastic fragrances. They can include citrus or incense or tea. There are certain notes and accords that are typically associated with these relaxing scents. Nevertheless, I'm excited to share my thoughts on these 10 relaxing, spirit-lifting fragrances that I have in my collection with you very soon. So make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's episode and I give you my thoughts on these 10 relaxing, spirit-lifting, mood-enhancing scents that I have in my collection, whenever I want to put myself in a better frame of mind, I always reach for one of these 10 fragrances. But before I start the video, I do want to mention that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content and if you love smelling your best, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and give this video a thumbs up for the algorithm as well. It would really mean a lot to me. So, of course, these are going to vary in terms of their olfactive DNA, their compositional nature. Some of them are going to be a bit more on the incensey side of things. Some of them are going to be very citrus heavy. For me, citrus is always a spirit lifter. And then I always find tea to be meditative, smooth, relaxing, endearing. The first one is by Filippo Sorcinelli, and of course this is an Italian brand. This fragrance is called Unum Labs. This is one of the best frankincense fragrances you'll ever find. So this one is very calm, very meditative, but it's also quite strong. So if you're looking for something with endurance, if you're looking for something that is long lasting, something that is resolute, please check out Unum Labs. It's going to be linked down below. Of course, I spoke about citrus before as well, and a fragrance that I really love from the brand Xerjoff. And of course, I discovered this about a dozen years ago. This is called Neo. So this is a combination of citrus and spice. So you do have this hyper-realistic bergamot note that is in here, but then you also have this beautiful cardamom ingredient that serves as a really nice juxtaposition and duality to the citrus, and I absolutely love the way that this one smells. And again, for a citrus-based fragrance, it lasts a very long time on skin. So now to diversify things a little bit, we have a tea-based fragrance. This one is probably the holy grail for a lot of people by L'Artisan Parfumeur. This one is called Tea for Two. If you're looking for tea and cinnamon, this is fantastic. There are so many incredible tea-based fragrances out there. You have Chai by Baruti. You have so many Floraiku fragrances. Of course, I could have made an entire list with nothing but Floraiku scents. But there's something about this one. It's very warm, it's cozy, and it's quite grounding and meditative. And it's the ideal fragrance to lift your spirits. When we're talking about lifted spirits, I find mental health to be super important. And this is why I would like to talk to you about the sponsor of today's video, which is BetterHelp. So I've actually been going to therapy myself since last November. And a lot of times you do find yourself in a position where there are things happening in your life that you can't really talk about with anybody else, which is why it's really nice to be able to have that opportunity to talk about them with a licensed therapist. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who is trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice. Well, first, you go to their website. You can use my link, betterhelp.com/redolessence. You answer a few questions and BetterHelp will match you to a professional who has years of experience helping others with struggles just like yours. You can do this all from the comfort of your phone or computer via phone call, video chat, or messaging, however you feel most comfortable. It's the easiest possible way to start talking to a therapist. You'll be matched to a therapist usually within 48 hours, so you can get started pretty fast. So let BetterHelp connect you to a therapist who can support you, all from the comfort of your own home. Of course, visit betterhelp.com/redolessence, or you can choose Redolessence during sign up and you can enjoy a special discount on your first month. So of course, please prioritize your mental health. It is paramount. Thank you so much for watching. Love you guys. Let's continue with the video. So the next fragrance I'd like to talk about is by Thierry Mugler. This is called Mugler Cologne Love You All. So this, very much like the original, is very bright, grassy, earthy, tons of citrus in here as well. The one thing distinguishing this from the original is the fact that this has a bit of a licorice note to it, which I really enjoy. Here we have another incense-based fragrance. This one by Comme des Garçons is called Incense Avignon. I actually discovered this before I discovered Unum Labs by Filippo Sorcinelli. So there's kind of a nostalgia factor about this one. And even though the two smell very similar to one another, I would find this one to be a little bit more on the lemony pine balsamic side of things, whereas Unum Labs can be a little bit more on the earthy, woodsy side of things. Of course, I also love this lemon-based fragrance by Mancera. This is called Lemon Line. not lime. A lot of people online, when they talk about it, they mention lime. Lemon lime. So this is a beautiful, bright, zesty, lemony fragrance. Also kind of gets compared sometimes to Eau d'Adrienne by Anicutal or Aquaviva by Profumum Roma. All of those are fantastic. If you want some diversity in your citrus, I would definitely recommend Celebration by Royal Crown. This stuff is fantastic. It's very bright, citrusy, lemony, bergamot with a touch of mint in there as well. And I suppose this one is a spirit lifter and a mood enhancer for me because it reminds me of the summertime and it reminds me of just being on vacation, being in a state of relaxation. And yes, it does help that other people have compared it to a mojito, and I totally get that comparison as well. Now, this next one is a little bit more on the casual side of things. This one by Bulgari is called Aqua Amara. So this one is kind of a salty, oceanic citrus fragrance. And it's also one that I wore during a period of time in my life when I guess stress was much lower and I had fewer responsibilities and fewer things sort of burdening me. So it's nice to be able to go back to that part of your life through scent, and I think that's really important. You know, if you have something that is very poignant, very nostalgic for you, something that conjures up really positive memories, and that's the beautiful thing, I suppose, with fragrances. Here's another citrus one that I love wearing, definitely lifts my spirits, Versace Mano Fresh. And this one, of course, with that carambola note or that star fruit note. It has that fruitiness, it also has the citrusy components, and it doesn't have that sort of a casual dryer sheets appeal that Versace Pour Homme has, and it's also not as dark or heavy as something like Dylan Blue or Oud Noir, but this one is very bright, fulfilling, energizing, and I think it's, yes, it is casual, but I think it's very versatile as well. Always puts you in a good mood. Now, the fragrance that I've really been wearing a lot lately, ever since I acquired it, and there's just something about this fragrance, I think also because it contains incense, but it has leather in here as well. It's very grounding, it's very meditative, and I personally love having this one in my collection. I found myself wearing this one for like a week straight when I first got it, just because it's very easygoing, despite the fact that it has leather in it. This one by Bon Parfumeur is called 603. So this is basically leather, incense, and tonka bean. So I think the inclusion of the tonka that is in here adds that nice bit of sweetness to the dry down. It creates that smooth personality. It's creamy, it's dulcet, but it also has that layer of mystery about it as well, where it's kind of like, look, I am basking in my introversion. I am enjoying the fact that I'm kind of doing my own thing here. I'm all alone and I'm just trying to find peace within myself. It's such a beautiful fragrance. This brand has a lot of incredible fragrances. The best citrus one from the brand of the ones that I've tried is 001. And of course, I also love 501, which is their gourmand, but 603 is a beautiful tonka bean, incense, and leather fragrance. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for tuning into this video. I really do appreciate it. And also, once again, just a friendly reminder, please make sure to utilize my code Redolessence at betterhelp.com. It's a fantastic service. And like I said, I've been going to therapy myself since last November, and it's been super helpful. We all need that service in our lives and that, you know, opportunity to really just connect with somebody and to share what's on our minds, especially when we feel as though other people won't quite get us. But thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you took anything of value from today's top 10 list, hit subscribe, hit the bell, and give this video a thumbs up. Thanks again for watching. I love you all, and we'll see you tomorrow with a new episode. Bye.